Hey guys, I'm Paco the Realtor. 16 years of experience, helped over 200 families buy and sell the American dream. I'm a local expert, I'm a professional, and I take care of my clients. I pride myself in educating my clients, and I'm also really sarcastic and a storyteller. So why don't you guys get to know me?
What's up, guys? This is Paco the Realtor. I hope everybody's having a good evening. Today is Wednesday. I have not been on the last few weeks, revamping a few things, doing a few things we're working on. But today I want to talk to you guys about something that's been coming up a lot since we came out of COVID. And what it is now people are considering selling and buying. And I think right now we have the golden opportunity because there's a perfect situation that has lined up that hasn't happened in a while. And that's exactly what the title is, which is low rates plus current equity equals your future dream home. And let me explain why the numbers absolutely make sense, guys, okay? So one of the questions I'm getting a lot right now is now the time to do it? Well, let's just go by the numbers. Forget my opinion, let's just go by the numbers, right? And I think once I show you the numbers, I think you'll be blown away at why it's a golden opportunity if that's what you're considering to do it. All right, so let's make a few assumptions. Let's assume that in the last 4 to 8 years, you bought a house. Let's say you bought it between 400 to 550 price point, okay? Assuming normal appreciation in Riverside and things of that sort, I think it's safe to say that you have about $120,000 to $170,000 in equity. This is based on 6 transactions I've just done in the last 2 months that were similar to that situation, okay? Let's assume that your interest rate is anywhere between 3.5% to 5%, which is kind of was in that time frame, okay? So we're assuming you have 120 to 170 in equity. We're assuming that you have 3.5% to 5% interest rate, okay? So that's what we're assuming. We're also assuming that when you bought the house, you didn't put 20% down. If you put 20% down, then this is a whole different equation because you have a lot more money. Let's just assume you put 3% down, 5% down the minimum, and you have a PMI, okay? Let's also assume that your average payment is gonna be anywhere between $3,200 to $3,600, which is where it's gonna be if you're in that price point with PMI and that current rate, okay? So payment of $3,200 to $3,500, currently right now sitting on 120, 170 in equity, and you bought 5 to 8 years ago, okay? So far so good. All right, so now let's assume that the house you want or would consider buying is 100 to 150,000 more than what you bought your original house for. So I bought my house for 400 to 550. Let's assume the house I want to buy because it's a bigger house, better neighborhood, better school district, more land, whatever, is about $100 to $150,000. So that same house, so if I bought for 450, now I'm buying for 550 to 600. If I bought for 500, I'm probably buying for 650 now. So just to give you an idea, okay? So let's assume that. Now let's assume that you put almost all the proceeds from the sale of your house into the new purchase. That's at least 20%. $600,000 home with 20% down is $120,000. So you have enough equity to put down the 20%, so you no longer have PMI. Now let's assume because you put the PMI that you now have also you have a 680 FICO or above. Now you're getting a rate of 2.875 maybe. You're getting something of that sort, right? So if I'm currently sitting on 120 to 170,000 in equity with a 3.5 to 4.5 to 5% interest rate, and I have over 20% equity in proceeds, okay? So that's what we have. And now I'm moving my family to a bigger home, better neighborhood, lot size, whatever, and I'm paying about $150,000 more, which honestly is what it would cost. But I'm putting 20% down on it, and I'm doing, I'm getting a rate currently of about 2.875. Your current payment on that new house, including taxes and insurance, would be roughly between $2,800 to $3,200 because your rate is below 3% and because you have no PMI insurance. So in essence, you are getting exactly almost a current payment you have, but now you're getting the bigger home, everything that you wanted. So if you're considering doing that, it's golden what's going on, the opportunity. You're on equity and money is cheap. Those two things partnering up have not been roughly at the same time, at the same place. So there's a lot of people considering it. And I always tell people it's the numbers. So it's not me that's going to tell you anything. It's going to be the numbers. And the numbers don't lie. The numbers say it makes absolutely sense if that is your goal. If that is your goal, 100%. We're not expecting much appreciation for it to shoot straight up or anything like that. It's going to hold steady for the homes. So you're not going to make a lot more money on your current house. Rates will roughly maintain, we're praying, roughly where they're at right now. So barring anything massive unseen, it's a golden opportunity. Now, if you choose to do this, there's a few things that have to happen process-wise. First, you need to find out how much your home is worth, and we need to find out what your net proceeds are. Not your gross, your net after you pay commissions, taxes, everything. We need to know how much money you have to play with. 2, then you got to take that and then get pre-qualified, because now we can tell the lender they're going to make $150,000. So now based off that, they can say what's the max you qualify for. 3, if you qualify for that price point you want to buy in, and you're able to put the 20% down so you don't have PMI, then you move forward and pull the trigger. And the pull your triggers, you put your home on the market. You cannot make an offer on any home if your house is not even on the market. So don't consider looking at houses. Don't go to open houses. Don't go to new developments. It's all a waste of time, because no agent's going to take your offer if you haven't even listed your home, which is where the money's coming from to buy your home. And we don't know how long that's going to be, right? So put your house on the market, then you start looking for the house you want to buy. Now, there's a beautiful thing called a contingency, which pretty much means you don't have to sell your house if you don't find a replacement home. You're not obligated to sell it. If somebody bought your house tomorrow, they'd have to wait for you to find a replacement home, whether that took 1 week, 1 day, 1 month. It is what it is. They could either wait or they don't have to wait. So I think if you're sitting on equity and you want to get rid of your PMI and you want to get a cheap interest rate and you want a bigger home, I mean, why wouldn't you? Really? Why wouldn't you? I think it's an absolute golden time to do it. And I think you guys should really consider it, looking into it that way if that's what you guys want. And the only reason I bring this up is because we've been getting quite a few phone calls about the possibility of that happening. And hence why I'm doing this video on a Wednesday. Because if they're thinking how much other people are doing it. So my suggestion to you is the following. Is if you want to go down that route, know your numbers first before you even decide whether this is worth it or not. Make your decision based off facts and numbers and not emotions. Don't go to open house. Well, there's no open houses right now. Don't go look at homes on Zillow or Redfin or whatever until you know that your numbers make sense and you know how much you can buy and afford. Hope this makes sense, guys. Remember, if you're in that situation, it's golden right now. Absolutely golden what you can accomplish. All right, guys? Remember that. All right, guys. As always, this is Paco, the Realtor Broker, owner of Arch Real Estates. I hope everybody's staying safe out there. We're slowly starting to open up. Hopefully, I'll see you out there supporting some of our local businesses. All right, guys. God bless.
Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. Hope you love the content. Subscribe below or follow me on social media. Just type Paco the Realtor.